So we have got the left backs and right backs. This will probably be the final one before we get into FC25, as there is very little time left now on the game and we've pretty much got everybody we need. We've managed to get the bigger Teo, we've got a lovely Sakina, we've got some lovely icons and heroes. Maybe I thought we'd get a few more 98, 99s, but I think we are pretty happy with where we're at. Now I have got the same list as before. We've got the top 4, which is going to be 2 from each position. So that will be 2 of the best left back and right backs. The S+, which is practically like a top 4, but just to kind of differentiate between my personal favourite 2 of each position and then the rest of the absolute elite. Then we go down S, A+, and A is pretty much non-existent anymore. Cards that you're not going to use. Someone like Estepina, someone like Charles, most of the team of the seasons, the team of the years, and some of the icons and heroes, they're not going to be worth using anymore. Like, they're just not. Let's be real. Like, Frimpong, unbelievable card, but it's going to be a very, very minute amount of people actually using him. The only way I would actually use Frimpong's team of the year right now is A, if I really want Frimpong in the team and I haven't managed to get any of the other versions yet, or if I have actually packed him from the team of the year. It's probably the only 2 reasons, because obviously if you do pack him from the actual team of the year event, I'd probably keep him in as well, to be honest. Same with Teo. Them 2 were outstanding from that. Now, we do have so many footies. Like there's literally so many cards under here. It's absolutely unbelievable. Like, if we go through a few, Ben White, McCabe, Tavernier, to be fair, still has got a little bit of summit. Jordi Alba, another Charles because one was not good enough. Teze, Thiago Santos, even Vasquez now. They are very much in the mud. Like, they're not really worth using anymore. Onya, to some extent, was a nice card, to be fair. Teo, to be fair to him, I would say his team of the season is still very relevant, but that's purely on the fact his card is just unbelievable regardless. If you're looking for coins to improve your team, head over to lootbar.gg for the most reliable and also the best coins around. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. But then the one thing that I do think is majorly important nowadays, especially with a lot of players already being 96 and above, I don't think there's many footies that drop below 95. A lot of them 96, 7, 8, and then a couple have been 99 now. I think we've got one of each position, in fact. I think we've got a right back and a left back. We might even have 2 left backs, so we'll see. I can't remember. I feel like there's one more, but we'll see. Capdevia obviously puts himself up there. If we go a bit further, Zambrata, not this version. Maybe he is great to the games, not terrible. Carlos Alberto, very similar. I love the great to the game of him, or the footies, in fact, for him is different. Bompastor. The big thing as well with a lot of these cards is it's going to be mainly based around evolutions as well. Like 93 Bompastor, very decent card, but it's mainly the evolution that really takes it for me. If we kind of go through as well, because Futbin have managed to now put, I want to say, a previous evolution slot. So you can get her to a 97 already. I know she already has a 96. I don't think that one can be upgraded. So you could potentially put her up there. For instance, if we was to think of, to be honest, I haven't really checked her Ben White, but I can imagine he has got an evolution. You could put him to 97 as well. So there is so many difference that you can go with. I can't cover all of them because literally every card would have a different one. Like, just as another one, because he was an SBC more than anything, Vasquez can go up to 97. Pretty much most of them have got the ability 97, 96, 95. So trying to cover all the evolutions is going to be ridiculous. Maybe for next year, or maybe even this year, we try something with just solely evolution cards. Maybe it's worth a thing. Let me know down below if you'd like to see that, because I know it's a lot easier to go for evolutions than it is to try and pack a 99 Frimpong or something along them lines. Then we've obviously got a few more team of the years. Sakina, Onya, I'd say now kind of comes in the bottom end. To be honest, so probably does Sakina. She does also have a different version as well, which is what we like, really. Mukiele, to be fair, was very good for when he was out, but realistically now, not really going to be used. Yan Kyuto, decent card. I'd put him in an A+. I wouldn't necessarily go too much further. I think S would be kind of my Cancelo, because we're looking at a card that most definitely is probably more top-end team of the season, but it's also the triple playstyle plus. We'd then look at maybe a quadruple once we got into the Festival of Foot, but they're not necessarily a top-end. They're kind of like someone like a Lizarazu. I know he hasn't got the quadruple, but he was in that sort of era where they were trying to get into that top end and it just didn't really work out for him. Whereas someone like a Klaus definitely puts himself up there. I think he has been absolutely brilliant. Reece James, on the other hand, I think would be dropping down one more now. And I'd probably go the same for someone like Scott. I think S was where I put her last time because they're definitely decent with the footies and they're kind of that next step above. I would take a lot of the lower end footies like the John Arnarise. I'd take a lot of them over some of the team of the seasons. Now, the one thing you've always got to remember is the playstyle pluses. It's going to be massive to see the difference between someone like, for instance, a Dodo and a John Arnarise versus an Undogi. Mainly when we're looking at them, the playstyle pluses really, really matter. So if we was to kind of go with it, because I know Undogi has got himself the quadruple with the quick step, intercept, jockey and long ball. Very good upgrades, and he has got an evolution in himself as well if he really wanted to. But when we look at the John Arnarise, he's kind of been shafted a little bit because he's got himself the whipped pass, fantastic. Got himself the intercept, brilliant. But then relentless and power shot. Not necessarily my personal cup of tea, really. When it comes to Dodo, again, had a little bit of shafting on him. Pinged pass, it will do. Technical, I'm not a fan of as a right back. Jockey's good, but then a trickster as well. You've always got to watch out for them. So it's why I would kind of put them in the better, and Dogi in the better option. Whereas the same for an Alex Scott. Maybe got the relentless, but anticipate, block, and then also an incisive pass. It kind of at least has some of the major factors. And the same for Reece James, is one of the better ones. Quick step, jockey, bruiser, and slide tackle. Fantastic. Grimaldo putting himself in that top end as well. Absolutely love him. Even without the dead ball plus that he's got on him, still think he's absolutely up there. And now obviously it's not necessarily without any question that we do look at someone like a Sakina and we do look at someone like a Frimpong, and not only just for the rating themselves, but having the stats that they do alongside the playstyle pluses they do. Again, with the dead ball plus, is what it is, but the 5-5 quick step and the anticipate, which is my personal favourite for a defender, and then having the whipped pass as well, is a personal favourite of mine. And it's a shame we haven't got a 99 Teo. I would have thought we would have done. Frimpong, on the other hand, is exceptional. I think he could have 4 of the worst playstyle pluses and it'd still be incredible. This year has been Frimpong's year and I'm absolutely here for it. He has been sensational from his base card into his team of the year, into the team of the season, and then obviously into this version as well. He has had some absolutely stunners of a card and I'm absolutely delighted with that 99. It was just Teo that we are missing out on, and to be honest, he would be my other left back. I think as the man and woman partnership, Sakina's been unreal. Same as Rolfo. I think Sakina just beats her out at this point purely for the fact that Rolfo can play an incredible midfielder role, whereas Sakina is very much on that left back and left wing back role. And then Teo has been one of my favourites this year. There's always question of Alfonso, of well, not left back, but Roberto Carlos, Nuno Mendes, who else have you got? There's a few others. Mendy, obviously. And then you look at the likes of Rolfo, Robertson, not as much. He came in a bit late. Calafiori, Calaforia is how you pronounce his name. But regardless, 98, very, very nice indeed as well. Always some decent SBCs. So if I kind of go with the rest, I think Trippier would be kind of in that bottom end. Wendell would be next to Jan. Montiel would be there now as well. Kind of bottom end. Ake, in fact. Is he more centre-back? He can play centre-back. What's his evolution? 96 foot is founder. I mean, I definitely have him as centre-back, but he does have the whipped pass as well. To be honest, never really liked his card, to be fair to him. We have got the likes of Kimmich as well as a very nice upgraded rating. Wan-Bissaka now would probably be very little use. Again, would be probably a nice evolution that you can go for, but that's probably all you're going to get from him more so than anything. It's kind of one of them that you could have done the SBC and you'd have got one chance of an evolution, because as well, you can only put one of these players in, maybe two if they've got double evolutions for them, but realistically we're only getting one per slot, so you can only choose one of them. It's not as if every single one of them can be upgraded to that sort of level. We then have Walker. Now, my right back choice in it is going to be a very interesting one, because obviously you've got Frimpong, and personally for me, if I was going for all the right backs, like we've got, for instance, a Carlos Alberto, I think puts himself up there. As a centre-back, I think there's so many better centre-backs now. He definitely pushes himself back onto the right-back role, which I think is more than fine for him. We have got the Lahm. I personally like him as a DM. I think he's an incredible player, or actual icon in the game, but I would say CDM suits him a little bit better in my opinion. But I do like this upgrade. I think it's one of them ones you could play both right back or CDM depending on where you want him. And then we're kind of going really short straws now, like a Lucy Bronze. We're looking at maybe somebody like, that's probably about it for right backs, to be honest. You've got yourself a Carfu, obviously, but I think Walker definitely outshines him. So my personal two for them two would be Frimpong and Walker, and Teo and Sakina. I think that they are the easiest options I could possibly go for a right back. Doesn't mean that necessarily they are any worse or any better than the S pluses. I think you could argue a few of them. I think the only ones you can't is Teo and Frimpong. Them two to me are absolutely top, whereas Carfu definitely could be argued over a Walker. Roberto Carlos is up there. Zanetti, not been a fan of, to be honest, this year. Same as Baka, to be fair. I think she's had a great start with, what, the 91, was it? Or the 90, what was it? It was a 91, I'm pretty sure. Because then she got the team of the season, yeah. So you had, obviously, the lovely upgrade that she managed to get from the Champions League, a 90. Then she got the Future Star, which was very expensive for what it was. Then, obviously, the team of the season came. And then we've just got a 1 upgrade. It's a shame she didn't get that little bit higher of an upgrade. Califoria, we'll drop him down really now. I don't think he's going to be, and to be fair, he'd be probably more in an S still with a quadruple, whereas I do think the 98 puts himself just that one step up a little bit again. DeMarco, I'd probably put as a very light S. Kimmich, I'd probably go the same again. I think Playstyle Plus is very much more tailored towards a midfield, which I think is where Kimmich is definitely more deadly. Trent, I've personally not been an S plus fan of him. Same as Ashley Cole. I think he's good, but not absolutely in that top category for me. And then we've kind of got a lot of the top end, like Ferland Mendy is the argument you would replace Sakina with. I think personally for me, I possibly could, but I think Sakina was a very, very good upgrade. You know what? I think the 99 is something I always stick with, but I do think I would prefer Ferland Mendy. And he's been my left back for the past couple of weeks now. Then we do have the likes of Rolfo as well. She is just outstanding from the get-go. Her 87 was already incredible. We then got the fantasy with a max upgrade, which is nice. But the stats on this card, like literally most positions being 98 rated, is crazy. Now that is what takes away from a left back for me. The hardest point is she's not the best left back you can get, but then she's also not the best centre mid or CDM she can get. She's very kind of like almost like a master of all trades, but just missing out on like the top 3 or 4 spots on pretty much most of them. But it does mean that she could be a potential super sub for you. Always got that option. Then we kind of looking at Cucurella. I'd say a very low S. Ake would be kind of the same. Did I already put him in here? I spoke about him, but I must not have just put him in. We got Nuno Mendes. Very good upgrade for what he was, but I think with the fact that he was in the champs when we were kind of winding down on the game now, I don't think many people did him personally. Carvajal would obviously go up there. Alfonso would obviously go up there as well. We then have the likes of Camavinga. I think he's absolutely exceptional in probably put him around mid in the top. Like, I'd definitely choose Teo. I'd choose Mendy. Maybe Alfonso, but I think the quadruple for Camavinga might just take me over him. I'd probably go more Rolfo over him, and Sakina would definitely go over him as well, but I do think then he would be looking maybe above Roberto Carlos, in my opinion, and definitely above the likes of Grimaldo in that option as well. Malacia kind of coming in as the lower one, Klosterman doing the same as well, very, very standard in terms of your positions, like a Dumfries. One that I was disappointed with, I must admit, was Robertson. I thought he definitely had the start that you wanted, because we had the Trailblazer to start with, and literally that was the only card. Now he could have got evolutions, which is fair enough, but to go from the 88 and have nothing throughout the whole year, I'm surprised we didn't get something different for him. Now you can obviously make him into a 98 with the premium transition, but again, that is going to be based around, I'm pretty sure, a lot of positions, so whether he would be the number one you'd go for. Sancho's obviously up there, Aubameyang's is a 98, Diani is a 97. It might not be the choice I personally would make in making a left back into a 98. We then have the likes of Onya, incredible, Lucy Bronze. One of the ones that I think is one of their, where the rating kind of has much more of the value. I do like she does have the aerial, the intercept, the jockey, the whipped pass. I think that would be the bit that takes her just that level up, in my opinion. If she didn't have the playstyle pluses that she has, I think she'd be more of a very mid-tier S. Bon Pastor, again, I think, to be honest, she's probably up there. She is in-game so much better than what the card suggests. I was surprised that she didn't go up more. Obviously, having the already a 93, could have seen a 97 personally. Then we have got the likes of Correa, and then a likes of Navas as well. And I think that would be kind of my list. They're not quite all in order of kind of what positions they are. Like, obviously, Navas would be more towards the top. But I think that would be roughly where I'd put all the left backs and right backs. And I think